this will be the last part of Legit Kits Land of the Free, the quilt I've been working on if you've been following this. I just have to quilt the bottom part of the quilt, and I will take it off the frame, put the binding on, and at the end of this video, I will show you the finished product. And I also will just mention real quick at the end of this video when we're looking at the quilted threads I used and why I used them and the batting. So let me get back to the long arm and finish quilting this. It's a lot of fills, and then I will show you the finished product at the end. here you can see I continued marking just some random lines on the feathers. These feathers I felt were kind of elongated, so I didn't want to do flowing soft stitching. I wanted to continue with these long lines. It will be easier to stitch so I don't have to think about where I'm going. And then these chalk marks are really easy to erase. So I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with the claws. I was just going to stitch in a couple of the ditches, and I kind of got carried away, and I ended up going in, I think, every seam there, every ditch. But you know what? It's fine. I kind of like the way it looks. I'm moving down the next section of the quilt, and I'm going to be marking the clamshells again, the medium size, and then it will look like this after I mark it. Now the design I'm doing, it really helps for me if I just finish connecting the clamshells. So I'm going to do that all through here before I start stitching, and then I'll show you the pattern I'm going to do. I finished connecting the clamshells. You don't have to do that. I just feel more comfortable. I want to know exactly where these middles are on the clams. And I had said that I was using the medium size stencil. Actually, it was a mistake. I'm using the larger size. If you're using Cindy Neum's stencils, this one is the larger one. So the design I'm going to do, I'm going to put little feathers in each clam. And I did a little drawing here, just a little sketch to give me an idea what I think it might look like. So I am going to start stitching that. I will put the music on. I apologize if it's a little hard to see because I'm using the same color thread as the fabric, so it might be difficult to see the stitching, but once I finish, I will show you the stitching with better lighting on it so you can see the shadows so you get an idea what the pattern looks like. So the way I like to approach this design, I like to go from left to right. I'm just going to outline the clamshell all the way. This particular row stops here, and then I will go back and put in the feathers. So by the time I get here, then I will go to the next row and just do the outline of the clamshells. And then on my way back, I will put in the feathers and continue like that. I finished all the fills on the ground. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I just want to mention a few things. Even though these are the same, like this is where the clams were, the feathers are still not the same in each one. And I'm okay with that because I like the organicness of it. So I want it to be the same yet a little different. The same with the orange peel, they aren't all the same. So I'm fine with that, you know, and I like that all the flowers are different. So I'm getting ready to take it off the frame. So the quilt is now completed. So in a few minutes, I will go over and we'll take a closer look at the quilt. And I just want to mention that any products I talk about, I'm not affiliated with any of the companies. I say this in every video. I'm just telling you the products that I like to use and what I keep in my quilt studio. So for all the areas other than the eagle, for all the areas around the eagle, I use So Fine thread. I used it both in the bobbin and on top. It's a 50 weight. And then for the eagle, there were so many colors. I chose to use variegated thread and I used Omni thread, and I'll show you that in just a second. Here are the 3 variegated threads that I used. So for the darker part of the eagle, I used 9056. You can see this is a darker variegated thread. I'll lay that down so you can see it. And then when you get to the right of the eagle, the large part of the wing is a lighter brown, so I switched to a lighter variegated thread, 9135. These are all Omni threads. And then for the tail, which was like a light gray, I use this variegated thread, 9023. And that is a 40 weight thread. And then for the batting, this is, for me, I'm using this as a wall hanging. It's not meant to be on a bed. So I used 2 battings, which gave it a little more structure. So on the bottom, I used 80-20, and then on top of that, I put Quilter's Dream wool, which gives, the eagle is quilted a little looser than the background. The background's quilted more dense, and I wanted it that way to make the eagle pop out. And so with that extra loft, with quilting it less densely, it kind of makes the eagle pop out a little bit. You get a little more loft in the eagle. So, so let's go take a quick look at the quilts. Show you the binding a little bit. I did a flange binding with a gold trim. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching and joining me on this journey of finishing this quilt. Legit Kits are a fun quilt to make. It kept my interest the whole time. Each block was different. I couldn't wait to get to the next block. The instructions are fabulous. If you're interested in more paper piecing videos, I will be starting another quilt, a Judy Niemeyer quilt, which will cover other paper piecing techniques. And if you don't want to miss that, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, press the like button. Everybody have a great day.